Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to play with the Scraproom Sketch Challenge. And so this is the sketch by JQ Crafty that I'm going to play with. So I'm going to get started. It had a large photo, so I'm going to use this large photo of my family from quite a few years back. And I am going to use this Gather at Home paper. I really like this paper, so definitely going to use those top two. And so I'm just going to trim down my papers and trim down this other paper. So this other one gets trimmed to about 10-ish inches across and just the 12 as well. And I took most of that out. I'm going to rip the bottom because there's a lot of ripped layers in the sketch, and I struggle for a little bit. So I cut some of that out, and then I cut a lot of them out. I cut about 10 minutes of that out. And so then I decide I do need a little bit more along this bottom, and I like the layers that this adds anyway. The back side of this paper is this jugs, which pulls in that black. I don't really need a jug, but. And then I pull in the 6x6 paper pad, so I like this green piece. And obviously my picture is 5x7, so I'm going to have to play with that and piece it together a little bit differently. And then I pull out this greenish piece, and then I'll pull out a blue piece later. But so the first thing I'm going to do is get this ripped torn edge the way I like it around my picture, and then I am literally going to cut pieces out of it and piece it all together. So the piecing together ends up being, I think it's 6 pieces to get it the way I want it, around the top and the bottom and the side, and it being ripped. So I don't make you watch all of that part. So I'm going to slice different pieces off and use it. I actually end up with a little bit left over. This one's not too bad to piece together because of the way the plaid gingham background is, but it does take a little bit of finessing to get it to where I want it with my picture. So I don't make you watch all of that because, yeah. So this is the last little bit of me piecing it together. So I tape it on the front to get it lined up. Then I tape it on the back to secure it into place. I take the little, well, I'm going to trim off these edges so it's straight, which was pointless. I end up tearing it in a minute anyway, but yeah, whatever. And then the bottom I'm going to tear because the bottom in the sketch is torn, and just fixing up this other edge. And then this is not glued on yet, but that's okay. And I'm just going to take a look, and that's better for what I want. This is probably going to go on this side. A piece of this is probably going to go on this other side. I just used one of the scrap. It's that pink again for the back side. And then this little piece is going to go underneath, and it's just a thin piece just to give the illusion of a big piece in behind. And then I decide I want to have this a little bit torn and distressed. So I'm just going to use my T-square ruler because it gives a little bit more structure to your ripping. Sorry. And then I just distressed the little bit that didn't rip well, and I like that more. And now I'm going to take a look at this bottom piece and go, okay, this is moving along too much. I'm not sure about that green. And notice it's changed to a blue beside because I didn't make you watch me go through the 6x6. And I'm just going to put a little bit of double-sided tape around this to get it prepped. And then I'm going to show you in a second. I'm going to gut what's in behind because I want to use those flowers. And I really love that paper in behind. It's thick and it's got a beautiful texture, and the flowers are so pretty. So I want to fussy cut some of those flowers out. So I'm just going to get this set up to where I want this pink piece to be, and I will get it all lined up, and then I'm just going to take my pencil and go around this piece so that I know where to not cut, because sometimes I would cut not where I want it to. So pencil works really well. And then just sliding this in so I have an idea where this bottom little bit's going to go. I am not going to keep that. I am going to keep that like the corner where it overlaps at the bottom, and then I'm just going to use my paper trimmer and come in a little bit from where my line is and just slide my straight lines. And then I'll come in with my scissors and cut that last little bit. It did not want to lift for some reason. And so here I come and cut that last little bit so that I have that. And then I will fussy cut from that piece. And then I'm going to attach this on, so I'm not going to make you watch all of that. So I'm just going to line this up to where my line is on the top. I am going to use my T-square ruler again, and then I'm just going to hold it and pull the tape off. And now I'm just going to piece in these other pieces for where I want it to go, and it gets taped on the back side so that it's where it needs to be, but yeah, I also have that texture. And just making sure that edge is really straight. And then bringing that back on to take a look. And so I like that. And then I'm pulling off of the chipboard accents, and I'm also pulling off of the sticker brads. And so I pull out these white ones, but I'm not going to use them. I cut out all that black one to fussy cut, so I will fussy cut those ones, but I wanted to play with it first. So then I do like 2 of these wordy bits off of the adhesive brads. So also there's this white one on the adhesive brads, which is adhesive chipboard. It's a little thinner than the chipboard pieces, but so I was playing around with those first. All right, I had these, and so you can see I did a whole bunch of fussy cutting out, and I did not make you watch that. And then I have those 2 pieces. One of them says we are all family, and I think the other one says something like gather together. I don't remember, but you'll see it in the close-up. So, and so did all that fussy cutting. I'm going to fussy cut 2 more pieces. So this one piece comes in. I don't fussy cut that fast, but I did cut that out of this because this would have been a very long video. And I don't fussy cut on the screen. I fussy cut closer to myself, so it never ends up on the video. And then I thought maybe another one in here or over here. It's not going to go anywhere. And then, so this has got it all situated out. I do know I want a little bit more blue, and so I'm going to strategically tear this one so I can get little bits of this blue in, but the 2 3x4 cards on the back side I'll still be able to use. So a little bit of blue there, and then there'll be a little bit of blue on this right side, and all of this is just dry fit at the moment, and then there'll be a little bit of blue on the left. And then I decide that I should probably get some of this glued down. So, oh, just a little bit more of this blue though. And so now I went and glued it all down, not on screen because that took me a while. And so I flipped out that circle one for happiness, and as I was gluing it down, I decided that the We Are Family is up at the top, and now I'm just going to put in some of these. They're kind of like jeweled brads, and each cluster gets 3. I thought about sliding one of those in and this one in. I'm going to rip this straight edge off just a little bit, and scuff up. This top corner just needs the tiniest bit more tape so it stays down. And then this one's going to be done. So if you liked my video today and my process, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate it if you subscribe if you want to. Otherwise, thank you so much for spending your time here today. I really appreciate it. This was fun to play with, even though it was a bit of a challenge. There's another video here if you would like to watch, and there's a subscribe button here to make it easy. Thank you so much. Have yourself a good day.